friends, welcome to the Arable Leader podcast. I'm Karl Martin, and I want to set you up to thrive in 2025. Now, I know that's cheesy and rhymes, but it's true nonetheless. And it's going to require a podcast, a conversation, the one we're having, and a resolve. A podcast from me, a conversation with us, and a resolve from you. And it's going to be tough. I'll tell you why. Because the world you're trying to thrive in is in many ways anti-thrive. It will drag you down, it will undermine you, it will overwhelm you. Mediocrity is exponential. So what we've done is we've devised a whole series that will take us through the first 90 days of the year, accessing your highest potential and helping you begin to grow and become the leader you want to be. We're going to talk to Thrive experts in a whole plethora of disciplines who are going to provoke us and get our juices going. I'm going to have some outrageous opinions. We're going to push on some triggers and buttons for you. And it's all going to be designed to kickstart you into a pattern and a cadence and a lifestyle that will have you thriving. So buckle up, buckle in. This is going to get challenging before it gets totally awesome. This is the Arable Leader podcast. I'm Karl Martin. And we're exploring true, brave, kind, curious leadership, leading from your soul. Listen, friend, your inability to do what you want to do and to be who you truly are is an inside job. The salient issues are inhibitions, not prohibitions. The external factors contribute, but the internal factors determine. All that to say, you are the project. And you have as much agency as you need. You just might need a little bit of help and provocation and catalyzing along the way. And I hope this is that. So thrive in 25. And the tool and model that we're going to use is borrowed from a number of sources and written about in my book, which, by the way, would make a great Christmas present, Cave Row Table Fire Winky Face. The tool is called 5 Capitals, or Endowments and Investments. And we look at 5 things that every human being that I know have been given and how they might invest in a way that helps them become the person that they could be. And what we're going to do is expose you to some realities and then help you with some plans to make them opportunities. So here's the simple teaching. If you access the show notes of this podcast, you'll be able to receive the simple teaching. Every person listening to this podcast has been endowed with 5 capitals. Financial capital, everyone gets some kind of money. Intellectual capital, we all get some kind of smarts. Physical capital, we all get some kind of health. Social or relational capital, we all get some kind of friends. And spiritual capital, we all have some kind of faith. And the secret to the success of your life is being able to invest in all these areas and being able to invest disproportionately and upwards. The point is this: the world we live in today, for the most part, has these capitals the wrong way around. Money makes the world go round, right? Money is the king of all things, right? And yet hardly anyone ever gets to the end of their life and their dying breath and says, I just wish I had a bit more cash. I just wish I'd made another £1,000 or $1,000. They probably say something like, I wish I'd spent more time with my family or my friends. I wish I'd invested more in my health. I wish I'd invested more in my understanding so that I was smarter and I could get these things right. Or I wish I'd got right with God or the universe or whatever you think is beyond this life. Reverse engineering this deal is going to help us here. So let's start with some basics. Money is the lowest form of capital. Just sit with that. Money is the lowest form of capital. That sounds like it should be right, but it doesn't look like it's right according to the way in which I live my leadership life or I worry about the outcomes of my life. It's disproportionately big in my head, the money conversation, but money is the lowest form of capital. Now, once again, don't hear what I'm not saying. If you want to thrive in 25, it means investing in all of these areas. You're supposed to, but all capitals are not equal. You're supposed to invest upwards and disproportionately. You're supposed to take your money and invest it in your smarts and your health, and take your money and your smarts and your health and invest them in your relationships, and invest all those things in what you think this is all about. So invest in your money. Don't just work for money, make it work for you. Work out how to invest with what you have. We're going to do a podcast where we speak to some world-class money experts who are going to blow our minds in how we think about the resources that we have and how we might use them. Invest in your intellect. Invest in your mind. Stretch your mind. What are you reading that is currently offending you and stretching you? What are you studying that you're struggling with, that you might become better and bigger and wider in your concepts and your thinking? Spend time with people who know how to help you set your mind, and we're going to try and do that in one of our podcasts. Physical capital. How are you strengthening your heart? How are you tracking your health? How are you mending your gut? How are you attending to your sleep? How are you moving your body? You only get one of these things, which is, an overemphasized truth and reality. You've had people say this to you all of your life, but 2025 is a year to get at it. And so in one of our podcasts, we're going to talk to a nutritionist friend who's going to help us think about we are what we eat and how we put into our bodies and how we move our bodies. How are you investing in your social capital, your relational capital? We're going to help you with a way to inventory your relationships, which sounds brutal, but it's actually vital. You see, are less the moments that you're in and more the soil that you grow in. You are the environment that you put around you. You are the sum of the people that you allow access to your life and that you allow to speak into your life. How are you investing in your spiritual capital? Are you asking bigger questions? Are you setting yourself up for this life? Is there more to life than just the senses that we use on a regular basis? But what is it? We'll talk to some spiritual gurus and leaders who are going to help us begin to plot a way to access those bigger thoughts that, for the most part, we all have. And if you're up for it, there'll be multiple resources coming your way. There'll be check-ins, there'll be PDFs, there may be some journal resources. But for now, take a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to write 3 seminal words. This is going to prepare you for the moment when January the 1st comes around and you're going to try and do some kind of reset of the way in which you show up to this world. Take a pen and write these 3 seminal words: cadence, discipline, catalyst. Cadence. I have never met anyone that I admire as a leader that doesn't have a cadence and a rhythm and a pattern to their life that is repeated again and again and again and can be articulated and shared. Think about that. What is your rhythm? We're driving here towards a moment, more than just a once and done deal. Discipline is going to create habit, which is going to create lifestyle, all of which is going to mess with your life and upset your life and then make your life. This is about a reset of the way in which you show up to your days. And we're going to help you. We're going to help you rewire your thinking. We're going to help you think through how you can rewire your mind so you can reset your practice and so you can thrive in 2025. I got to stop saying that because it's so cheesy, but there it is. Second word, discipline. Do something you don't want to do, so you will end up doing things that you usually do, so you will do things that you always do. That's how you create cadence. Remember, you are not whatever the algorithm seems to push you towards. Remember, you are not competing with anyone else. Your competition is you. Your competition is your self-talk. Your competition is your comfort zone. Your competition is your scrolling. Your competition is your inactivity. Your competition is what you're eating or not eating, whether you're moving or not moving. Look, guys, this is about you. You're the project. So top tip. Look for the resistance, and you will likely find the gold. The very thing you need is often hiding behind the practice you don't want to engage with. Where you find yourself resistant to doing something that you know is going to be good for you, that could be your breakthrough. And realize that you don't quit a habit, you replace one. And so we're going to help you with understanding how to replace habits, how to replace those trigger moments when you do something that is disruptive for you and destructive for you, and replace it with habits that will be life-giving for you. Also, I want you to remember that every time you decide for something, you decide against something else. Every time you decide for something, you decide against something else. See, that very word decide means to cut off in the original language. So this process will be a cutting off process. My yes is going to be so compelling that it's also going to be no, 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 I can't do that. These relationships, so not these relationships. These practices, so not these practices. So many of us get so suffocated by so many superficial followers and likes, and we have a lack of deep community as a result. So many of us get so suffocated by all the activity of our lives that we don't practice the very things that are going to make us be the people that we're supposed to be, that we're called to be, that we're able to be. Discipline, and the final word is catalyst. Write down catalyst. If you try to do all these things, you will do none of these things. So, if that's true, what is the thing that is going to move the other things? What is the force multiplier? What is the catalyzing factor? If I wake up and set myself and move my body, I'll be able to ... If I stop spending money and save money, it will enable me to ... You're looking for a driver for your life and a co-pilot. You're looking for the thing that's going to help you do the things, and you're going to put your finger on it, you're going to underline it, italicize it, and bold it, and then you're going to do it. I'm just setting you up. So here we go. If this is a begrudged chore, you'll never do it. Certainly won't do it well. Guys, I'm not making you do this. I couldn't, and I wouldn't. But think of what it would mean for you if you were begin to practice a way of being that enabled you to be healthy in all these arenas of your life. Think of the exponential growth that would happen in your life and the impact that would bring to other people's lives. Think of it this way. You don't got to do it. You get to do it. You haven't got to do it. You get to do it. It's amazing what difference one letter can make to a sentence. Friends, listeners, this is an investment in you, which will pay dividends for everyone around you. So look for a podcast once a week on these capitals. Look for some experts giving us some input. Look for some conversations. Look for some worksheets coming your way, and look for some real-time accountability. Who's up for Thrive in 25? Happy New Year.
You've been watching The Arable Leader with Karl Martin. Subscribe for more episodes with great leaders. And you can also listen to The Arable Leader wherever you get your podcasts. For more resources for leading in a healthy way, visit arableco.com and check out Karl's new book, The Cave, the Road, the Table, and the Fire: